I would like to invite you all to stand up. Would you please stand up? We're going to play a little game. Stretch your left hand, as I do, in front of you, all of you. Okay, thank you so much. Stretch your left hand. The left hand, ladies. Okay, then raise your right hand above your heads. And on my count of three, you're gonna clap your hands with me. 1, 2, 3. You all fell for the trap, or didn't you? Well, I didn't trap you. As a matter of fact, it was just a way to introduce you and welcome you to your mirror neurons, your clever neurons responsible for your learning through miming and empathizing. Wait a second, is she talking biology here because I'm not that comfortable with the subject? Well, no, I'm not talking biology. I'm just using biology to get to my point, which is empathy. Yeah, empathy, I know the word, I've heard of it. It's something about compassion, I don't know what, something like that. Well, empathy is much more than a compassion or a compassionate act. It's much more than that. And what I just did with the game is that I proved to you that we are visual people. We see the world before hearing it, before touching it, and before mirroring it and adopting it. These are our clever neurons that are responsible for our empathy. And throughout our education and our lives, we have the chance to live a lot of empathic situations. Since day one in our lives, we start being empathic to several situations. And we have a lot of chances to learn empathy. I mean, we mime and adopt our parents' attitudes, our friends, our teachers, our brothers, our sisters. We adopt their attitudes and we empathize with them. And it feels so good to empathize with people we get along with our society, our neighborhood, our region, our country. It's only natural and it's biologically proven. But although it's a biological, natural thing to feel empathy, why is it so hard, almost impossible, to feel empathy towards people we dislike, or people we just don't get along with, or people who just aren't the way we are, people maybe we consider enemies? Why is it so hard to take that empathic feeling and use it here? Well, it's a little bit tricky. As a matter of fact, I have an invisible bag here on my back that I've been carrying for so long, so would you allow me to take it off and put it here? This invisible bag we all carry is giving real hard time to our empathic feelings. What we have in this bag is something common to all of us. Besides our DNA that we inherit and we don't control, we have a lot of stuff inside. One of those stuff is our common history. Since the day we're born until our grown-up life, we keep listening to the same side of the story, of the truth. We take the common history of our parents, our grandparents, and our great-grandparents, and carry it as our part of the truth, or our truth, the truth. We spend a lot of years listening to these stories that we adopt them and they become a part of us. So this is one of the roadblocks that we have in this invisible bag to give hard time to our empathy. Another thing in our bag is the transgenerational trauma we carry. What is she talking about? I mean, a minute ago, she talked about something neurons, something, a biological thing, and now she's talking something about psychology. Where is she leading? Well, transgenerational trauma is a trauma that we carry also without even noticing. It's an unfinished work. It's a victim sensation that we carry for the rest of our lives if the job of healing hasn't been done by our parents, by our grandparents, and so on. The transgenerational trauma is something that can last for centuries if the healing job isn't done. Let me give you an example. For instance, every time there's a tension or an attack or a conflict, some weird sentences just pop out about, like, these are the new crusaders coming to kill us. These are the new Salahuddin fighters. These are, I don't know, something similar to this. It's not proven scientifically. It's like women are like that, men are like this, black are this, whites are that, and so on. It's not proven scientifically. It has never been written, but it's there, and it pops out when we're scared, when we're afraid to come out of our bubble and our comfort zone that we knew all our lives. That is one of the things that also we use to give hard time to our empathic feeling. Another thing we give from our bag, we take from our bag, is our biases. What are biases? It's what we feel that we know about the others without even knowing them. And we label people, tack, 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 tack. It's so good to label people. Everyone here in the room has at least 5, 10, 20, 30, maybe 100, maybe 1,000 label, depending on who's labeling him or her. And you do the same for other people. You just label them. He's good. She's racist. He's generous. She's mean, etc. We label people and we remain in our comfort zone and we think that we're gods. I mean, it feels good to be on my stool, in my comfort zone, in my bubble, and play God. Isn't it? It's nice. It feels good. I know the truth. I know that he's mean. I know that he's generous. As if people are always the same, are always just this label that I give, not more than that. These feelings are heavy in my invisible bag, and they keep me from feeling empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is literally taking off my shoes, leaving my story, my selfishness, my biases, my trauma, my roadblocks aside, and putting on the other person's shoes. They are invisible, but they're here. This is empathy, being capable, literally capable of feeling the other person, at least for a moment or for a short time. This is called empathy. I know it on my side of the story. I know it when I see my mother suffering. I totally understand her because I know her story. I don't want to know it sometimes when it's with someone that I dislike. It's good to be here in my bubble, isn't it? Things have been going on for so long this way, for centuries. I mean, who am I to change the world or an attitude? You can choose this. You can choose to stay on your stool, telling your truth, telling your side of the story, being in your comfort zone, keeping your bubble. You can choose that. And you can nag about everything that's going on outside your bubble. We're so good at nagging. And you can choose to do another thing. You can choose to get out of your bubble. It's so easy to get out of it. To step out of your stool, outside your comfort zone, and put on the other people's shoes, at least for a while, to get to understand them. So my last question for you today is simple. What are you going to choose? Empathy or no empathy. Thank you.